Dollar for dollar, email marketing is the most effective form of marketing. Yet, if you're like many of the entrepreneurs and small businesses we come across, it might be a little intimidating to get started. So, today we're here to help you do just that. And if you're a little bit more veteran, to share some best practices for creating effective campaigns that are going to help turn prospects into customers. I'm Dixie. My co-host is Katrine. We're from Easy Marketing. We have a ton of great information to share with you today. We want you to use the chat box to ask your questions. But if we miss yours or if you think of something later, here's our contact information. We do answer every single email. We'd love to hear from you. And we also invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do these webinars every month and we always post them online and make other content as well. So there's a lot of great like DIY stuff out there, helpful topics for entrepreneurs, small businesses, and nonprofits. So just a tad about us. Easy Marketing is located here in Northeast Florida. We're celebrating 22 years of business, and we have clients throughout the US and abroad. We specialize in website design, email marketing, of course, social media management, and graphic design. And our clients range from small little upstarts like some of you to international green energy companies. So we enjoy doing it all. So today, while you're here, we're here to cover the why and how of email marketing. So this particular workshop is geared kind of toward beginners and those new to email marketing. But if you're a veteran, you're also going to pick up some great tips as we cover the key elements of design. So let's dig right in. I like to begin with the why. Most small businesses are very strapped for time and resources. So you're like, why? Why am I going to add another thing to my already full plate? And the answer is because of all the marketing tools in your toolbox, email is probably the strongest. 91% of people check their email every single day. In marketing terms, that's what we call reach, and it does not get any better than that. 88% are checking on their smartphones, and it's something that's consumed morning, noon, and night, more than even videos or social media. I mean, I don't know about you, but I check my phone typically first thing every morning, right before I go to bed every night, and many of your customers can relate to that on a daily basis. We'd like to say that email marketing works because it meets customers where they are. They're already going to that inbox every day. Email is also very reliable. About 90% of the emails get delivered compared to Facebook posts, for example, typically reach only about like 2% of followers. It's something that people are comfortable with and have come to rely on, from everything like updates from their bank, messages from school and work, and of course, promotional messages from businesses that they have shown an interest in. But the best reason of all is that email marketing has 3 times the conversion rate of social media. For every $1 you spend on email marketing, there's an average rate of return of $36. So the time and a little bit of money that you put into it is a really solid investment for your business. So you might be thinking, Dixie, that sounds cool. Email marketing seems like a good marketing strategy, but why would I need like a specific email marketing provider? Couldn't I just email people from my Gmail or Yahoo account? And we'll get into the reasons, but as you know, in business, first impressions matter. You are rarely going to get a second chance. So when somebody opens that email from you, they're going to give you like a fraction of a second to decide either to keep reading or to send that right to spam. And what they see is really going to help determine what they do next. So maybe you want them to visit your website or register for an event. That could be asking them to make a donation or to try your product or service. This is where a professional looking email designed to drive action is crucial. So let's compare a couple emails based on first impressions. So notice the difference here between a regular email that you might send from your Outlook or Gmail or Yahoo account, that's on the left, and one sent through an email service provider on the right. Which do you think is more compelling? If you are not emailing your potential and former customers, or if your emails look like that one on the left, you're really not doing your marketing any justice. Especially when email marketing platforms are inexpensive, they are very easy to use and far more effective. And best of all, you don't need any particular like design skills or experience to create these really beautiful, professional looking emails in a matter of minutes, thanks to professionally designed templates. Other great reasons too, that email marketing platforms ensures that your emails are optimized simultaneously for both desktop and mobile. And that's really important because, like I said, a lot of people are looking at their email on their phone. It also keeps you in compliance with the law. There's something called the Can-Spam Act, and it's going to make sure that you're following that your emails don't get blacklisted, which will definitely happen if you're trying to like mass email from Google, and it's going to keep you from getting fines. They're very easy to use. You don't have to be like an IT expert or a graphic designer. They have these beautiful ready-made templates that you just pop information in. And as you get more advanced, they're really going to help you with things like list management and tracking your success in real time with rote reporting tools. So one question we typically get is, which email provider should we use? There are hundreds out there and new ones pop up all the time. There are several really reputable ones that we could recommend to you. But after doing this for 20 years, our top choice is Constant Contact. We use them for ourselves, for our own business, and also for many of our small business clients. They're the industry leader, and all of the examples you're going to see today are from Constant Contact, just so you know. So before we show you how, we really wanted to give you some kind of real world examples so you can see what it looks like of email marketing. All of these were made by us for our clients. And the first examples you see here are things that we did to market our own business, right? Because that's what you're here for, to market your business. On the left, you see an example of one of our free monthly newsletters. We send this out every month to people like you, subscribers. It has a lot of helpful how-to content so people can DIY some of their marketing. The next one is an invitation to a workshop. And I'm sure that many of you are here today, probably because you got an email from us. And then the one on the right is something like you'll expect to see later today. People who have attended one of our workshops, they get a follow-up email thanking them for coming. It's got a replay video and some other helpful resources. And as you can see, these are all very branded. They're three different things, but they all look and feel like they came from the same place. I think they're very attractive. It's easy to find what you need, and they were easy to do. Next is a client we work with, a mortgage broker. She also has a monthly newsletter. That's the one on the left. And on the right is more of like a single topic email. This one had to do with changing her email address, but she also uses this every week to send things out, not to clients, but to other people she works with, typically realtors. So you can see, again, they're very branded, easy to use, and you can use them in a variety of ways, not just newsletters. This is a client that is an executive recruiter in the finance space, so it's a little more, button up, but they have a quarterly newsletter on the left there that's dedicated primarily to job openings and also case studies. And on the right is the monthly content newsletter. So if you're feeling a theme here, people are not just sending out stuff that says, buy my product or buy my service, but they're sending out helpful content that gives a person a reason to open their email, something that's in it for them. And then this is Moose Haven, which is a local retirement community. These are two examples of their monthly newsletters. These are very extensive because these newsletters recap every single event that happened there in the month. So there's lots of photos and videos of that kind of stuff. But these are just some different examples from very different industries. So you can kind of see the different themes that you can do with email marketing. So now that you kind of have a better understanding of the why, the next question is how? How do I do it? And that is where I'm going to turn it over to Katrina.
So just as we said before, everything, let me just pull up my my slides here correctly. So everything we said before is that you need a special platform for this. And those platforms are all online. So you are I'm going to show you a little bit later on exactly how that is set up. Bear with me when I fix my there here. So we are going to, so let's go to the next slide. Not only can you create beautiful looking emails, but you can also follow the law, which we all want to do, but also make sure that your emails won't be what we call blacklisted. So if you have a Gmail account, for example, I think their maximum is to send out to 50 people. And you can always say, okay, then I can send to 50 people many times. Yes, first of all, you don't have the layout, but you also Google and all the other email carriers like Microsoft, AOL, Yahoo, Gmail, all of them want to stop spam mail because they know that is bad for their own business. So when they see that there are people that have an account with them that are sending a lot of emails that looks the same and to lots and lots of people, and maybe where they send them at the end there is no one there or people there are spam marking it, they can close you down, and they will. And they can even do what's called blacklisting, which means that even if you have a Gmail, even if you have an email address with your domain name on it, if you send out from your office account a lot of messages to hundreds of people, again, you can't send more than 50 or 100 at a time. Your email address, your domain name might be blacklisted so that no one of the big carrier will ever send an email until you prove that you're not going to do that again, and that costs thousands of dollars. So let's see how you can set up one of this for your marketing purposes. So next slide, please. I'm sure you're with me there, Dixie. I don't see the slides. So you would go to constantcontact.com, and in the upper right corner, you would simply click on Start a Trial. And you answer a couple of questions, and you have a certain amount of time and do a couple of tests without even putting in your credit card. And then after that, you usually pick a template. That's the next step. And the next step is whatever template you are using. It is a matter of dragging and dropping different elements like photos and buttons into that. And then, of course, putting down your content. And we're going to look at that just a little bit later. And at that time, I'm going to do that live. So I am so sorry. I have issues with my screens here. So I'm going to go here. And when we saying send emails, we are talking about sending people that you already have contact with. So it could be your clients, it could be people that have that you're collecting their business cards because they know that they're going to get an email from. So we're calling those a list. So what you're doing when you get one of these, when you start an account to Constant Contact, that account, anything in there is yours. There are no email address, there are no text, there is nothing except for those templates. And then you upload your email addresses, and we do that as list. And let's say that you have two different kind of products or niches that you're working with. You might have a golf course, for example, and you are sending out email to everyone that is playing golf, but you might have a few youth players that are taking classes, and you have clinics for them. You don't want to send the specials about tournaments and about beer night and so on to that group. So you just put them on a different list. You just divide them, and then you can send to whoever you want. If you have an organization, you can send emails to your volunteers. You can send emails to your donors. You just divide them to different lists. So it's going to be important that you get their permission. So when you get started, anyone that if you're like us, a constant, where we have, we're a marketing company and we are working with about 50 to 100 customers. And we have worked over the years with maybe 200-300. They are on our email list because they are expect to get emails from us. And then anyone that is signing up and attending our workshops, they obviously have that interest. And when you do that, you also, when you sign up with us, you actually click and say if you want to receive our emails or not. So if you don't click and say you want email, you are not going to get our follow-up email to this event. So that is important because that's how you get permissions. Okay, next slide.
Thank you so much. So now that we've covered the basis of sort of selecting and customizing a template, which Katrina is going to show live in just a few moments, we want to talk a little bit more about the individual design elements. Each serves a purpose in helping customers know who the email is from, why they should open it, and most importantly, what they should do next. So this is an example of a template that we chose from Constant Contact. It has the 7 essential design elements that are present in almost every marketing email. I'm going to talk about each of these in turn, but I wanted to see you kind of the full picture so you know how these elements tie together. And again, we're going to send out a video, but if you want to take a quick screenshot, go ahead there. All right, so by customizing these elements, you can create what we call a master template for your business organization. Consistency is really important in email marketing. You want all of the emails to have a similar look and feel, like the examples I showed you before. We call that branding, so that customers know without even reading a word that this is from your business. A master template helps you achieve that consistency and also is going to save you a ton of time because you set it up once and then you just make a copy and reuse it by plugging in, a different picture or a little bit of a different text that's specific to your new campaign. So let's look at each of the 7 elements. First is the header. And you may not be familiar with this or think the header plays a very important role in design, but I include it here because that's the first thing that people see in their inbox. It's your only chance to catch their attention and get them to open that email. And believe me, people are making very quick decisions. Their inbox is full. They're trying to decide what to open, what to ignore, what to trash. So you really want to use this element to your advantage. The from information typically displays first. So ideally, you want to use an email address that's from your business domain. So what I mean that it ends with, in our example, at easymarketing.com. So an email from me would be Dixie@easymarketing.com. Or from our business, it's probably like office@easymarketing.com. What you don't want is easymarketing@gmail.com or easymarketing@yahoo.com for the reasons that Katrine explained earlier. You want it to have that domain name in there. So you could ask your website host to set that up, or if you're not sure how, give us a call. We'll point you in the right direction. Now let's take a look at another example of why this from information is important. Here's an email in my inbox from Susan Grant. So when I see this, I have to decide what to do. Like, do I know who Susan Grant is? Am I going to ignore this, delete it, mark it as spam? The from information is so important because people read emails from senders that they know and they trust. So you need to decide, especially if you're a solo entrepreneur, is the email going to come from you, like your name, or is it going to come from your business name? And that really depends on how people identify you. If you're like a realtor, for example, you might want to use your name, but typically the business name is more important. And you can have a different reply email so that if you get a lot of replies, they go to a separate mailbox or to your assistant or that kind of thing. When we think about subject lines, you want to think small, like 4 to 7 words is the ideal length. And then the pre-header text displays just below or after the subject line. So you can use this kind of as an extension of it. So maybe 5 to 8 words. This is your last chance to kind of hook the reader. So you want to make sure that both of those things work well together. So let's look at some more of the design elements in your reusable template. You want to place your logo either right big in the center or sometimes in the top left, and you want to make that logo clickable. So when people click on it, they can go right to your website. You also want to use what we call your brand colors. So these are typically the colors in your logo or could be colors used on your website. So again, so your email looks the same every time and is very identifiable to you. And we have a blog on our website that talks about how to find that exact color because like not every orange is the same. So you can check that out if you don't know like the hex value of what your particular color is called and how to replicate it every time. So once you've set up your template with these branding elements, you're going to want to select a compelling image, right? These photos are what grab their attention. They're bringing your marketing to life. Remember that we cannot just borrow photos off the internet, right? So we're not going to take them from Facebook. We're not going to Google them. These need to be photos that you have either taken yourself or that you have hired a photographer or that you have, bought and have permission to use. So you want them to match what you're talking about and be really compelling. Video is even better. All right, and again, you want that to be clickable. And then finally, you're going to add your text. Now, don't go wild here, right? People don't want to read a novel. You want to keep the headline nice and big, easy to read. Your body text, like a paragraph, right? No more than 20 lines of text. Again, keep it big. And if you have more information to share, put that on their website, right? Put the main part in your email, and then you can always send them back to your website for the details, right? For the fine print, the frequently asked questions, that kind of stuff. We also don't want you to get too wild with the styles. So pick maybe one or two fonts at the most. Again, one or two colors. Keep it nice and clean and simple and easy to read. Too many can be very distracting. And the most important part is the call to action. We never want you to send out emails without asking people to do something as a result. So you want to put a button in there and make it easy for people to get to your place on the website where they can take that action. So if you're asking them to look at a specific product, the button goes to that product. If you're asking them to sign up for a consultation, it goes to that. Always use a call to action so that people do the thing that you're asking them to do. All right, and then the footer is where you provide all the information about your contact and your company. Again, this rarely changes, so you put it in there once in your master template and then you can forget about it, but do include your socials. So those are the 7 points of design. Just remember, you want to keep it simple. You want a picture, a paragraph, a call to action. That's all you need. You don't need to throw the whole kitchen sink at them. All the rest of the details can be in your website. So Katrina, I'm going to turn over to you and let you show real fast kind of how these actions work in Constant Contact so they can kind of see it live. And you are on mute, Katrina.
So if you have thought about this and seen that, but like, how am I going to do this? Let's take a look and go step by step, and I'm going to show how we can do this. So we are going to use this screen. I'm going to minimize this, and we're opening up this again. Are we seeing Constant
Yes.
Contacts page? Yes. So when you have gone up and set a trial account, you're coming to a page like this. This is the home page when I get to. I've been in here before, but if the very first time you do this, they are going to actually step by step take you through a couple of steps, then making things even more easy. So I do suggest that you make sure you have like 15 minutes that day and that you know where you have your logo. But this is really where we go. So we are going to start something new. So we're going to go in to create. And as you can see, Constant Contact offers much, much more than only email marketing. They have social media post and monitoring, landing pages, sign up forms, event sign up forms that you just signed up to come to this event, and much, much more. But we are going to create an email. And we are pretending we have a restaurant. So there are tons and tons of templates that you can start with. So I'm going to put in the word restaurant in here, and we are going to take a look and see if there are templates in here that would work for us. So I usually pick this one, but it could be any of them. With them, you are going to change out the logo and the text and so on. So let's do this. So we are going to start with this first email, and it looks like this. So when I move the mouse over, can you see that how things are jumping up? I'm going to actually make this so you can see it even better. Is that better, Dixie? Yes. So you can move here, which you're activating different parts, and you have different blocks here that you can pull in. Here, for example, you say button. I can click with the left. I can drag it in where the purple line is. Then I could just drop it. And if I want to undo something, I can do this. So let's say we have a restaurant. My restaurant's name is not Body. So I can either go in and change this image, or I can totally remove it. So we can say I remove that, and then I can drag in another image block like this, where there is nothing. I can click on it. I'm going to say replace. And either you are uploading your images. So for your logo, for example, you will go in here and you will upload your image, upload here, and it will go up and it will stay in your part of your account. No one else can see it, except when you put it in an email and send it out. So in this case, we are going to take the logo and we are going to insert that. And we can simply hover over and make it a little bit larger. This was the image, looks like a hamburger they had in here that they had as a, so let's replace that. Let's upload something else. And I already done this before. So I already put this is my picture, this pulled pork, and I'm going to insert that right in here. And then we have the text, and just like any Word or any program, you can just go in and change. This one is all work. Okay. And then you are changing things, and then you're adding your name, your address, you're adding links to your social media. And when you have all of this done, then we're going to send it out. But before I talk about that, after we send it out, you can actually next week or next month you're sending something, you already dig the backbone of your email right now. If you want to, you can actually go in and just make a copy, and then next month it's not pulled pork, it is chicken fingers maybe. So we take a picture of chicken fingers, and the images could be your photos, or if you have a Canva account, you can connect those to Canva, or Constant Contact has a small set of free images. They also have a bigger set where you pay for the images. And I think they used to be $1 each, so it's a very, very low cost. So that's one of the things you can do. Where are we with time? And then the next thing here, after you have previewed the image and you sent yourself a test to see what it looks in your inbox, you are ready to get going. And we make sure we have the correct subject line. And we are going to go in and see who we're going to send it to. So this is just a test account. So you can see that I have different list. On this list, I have 41 names. So I'm going to click that because they are the ones that are going to get things about the barbecue and the pulled pork. just so you know, when you have all those different lists, if you're thinking about your organization, like if you're a church and you have, have one for the congregation, but then you have another list for your youth group, and then you have another list for something. One person can be on more than one list. And even if you choose to send to several lists, that person only got one email. If you would send to more than one list. And the next thing is that you have the option. Can we move this? I want to get
Just click, got it.
that.
Yeah.
Yes. So now you can go in and send it right now to all of them, or you can go in and schedule and send for a later. So you can do things in advance, and then you can say exactly when you're going to send an email, and then you just schedule, it will go out. And you had something to say about scheduling, didn't you?
Oh, just that, I tend to be a late owl, so, I might be working on this at 11 o'clock at night. Don't send out your emails at 11 o'clock at night. No one is gonna read them. Schedule it for the time that is best for your customer. You know what I mean? So typically like midweek in the morning is a good time to start, but it might be different for your industry. So after you send out each email, you can look and see exactly who opened it, what they clicked on, what time they opened it. So you'll kind of see trends, you know what I mean? If more people are opening them in the evening or in the morning or, on a Wednesday, it'll get better over time as you use it. All right, so let me go back to our slides here.
So I have to pull it up so it shows mine. You don't need to
Oh,
share
okay.
your screen.
So we'll take just a couple questions. So if you have them, pop them in there real fast. Let's see here. Nat asked, is it a good idea to have more than one call to action in an email or newsletter? Typically not. Like we showed a couple examples of newsletters that are quite lengthy. So for example, if we're showing 3 different events that already happened, I might have a button after each event where I could go to like a YouTube video about it, or, some pictures that are on my website. But in most cases, you're sending out an email and you want them to do one specific thing, right? You want them to buy this product, sign up for that consultation, whatever it is, join your email list, follow you on social media. Try to pick like one thing and make that the focus of your marketing email or your content related email and send it out. So unless it's like a long monthly newsletter, I tend to prefer like the single call to action, because that way you can have a really strong message and it doesn't get lost. Any other questions? I know we were doing a lightning round today. All right, perfect. Okay, well, if you think of them later, just email us. And then the next slide, Katrine, we are going to perfect. So our next workshop, I love this one. We're going to talk about content marketing. As you saw in a lot of these emails, it wasn't just promotional stuff. It wasn't just buy this, sign up for that. It was giving helpful information to the reader. That's what we call content marketing. And we really talk about what are you going to write? What kind of things are people interested in? So if you come back to that, we'll talk about that next month. And that's how you sign up, or you can go to our website. And if you have been thinking about doing email marketing, or you tried a different platform and you couldn't make it work, here's a link to a free trial of Constant Contact. So give that a shot. It doesn't cost you anything. Play around with it a little bit. And of course, if you have any questions, call us and we will be happy to point you in the right direction.
Yeah, so you can pull up your cell phone here and do a scan of this, but here is the address. Because again, if you didn't click that little button or box when you sign up for that, you are not going to get our follow-up email. Unless you go right to our website right now within an hour and sign up for our emails, then we are getting your permission to send it out. But you can also go to www.bit.ly/EZYCTCT. And that is going to get you to do a free trial if you want to do that.
Absolutely. Well, you guys have been a great audience. We hope this gave you a really nice primer to how and why email marketing works. And we hope to see you again next month.
Thank you.